of Helen Sims. The London secretary, who sets out to prove for herself what so many women long to prove. That because a woman is 35 or more, romance in life need not be over. That romance in life can live at 35 and after. Lovely Helen Sims has found a compromising photograph of man-eating love rival Eve Chalice with an as-yet undisclosed gentleman in the drawing room of Eve's house. Recognizing this as her chance to prevent tomorrow's announcement of Eve's engagement to Dirk Landless, the handsome lawyer Helen so dearly loves, we heard Helen say to herself,
"This photograph proves Eve Chalice's notoriety. If only I can remove this photograph without Eve realizing, I can prove to the world what kind of woman she really is. And then she'll be forced to release Dirk from his engagement to her, and he can be mine. Oh, Dirk, we can still be happy. Dirk, we can still be together."
And so the next morning, Helen drives to Dirk's house in Pimlico to show him the picture, not realizing that Eve Chalice also has a compromising photograph of herself with Dirk Landless, taken by Eve's unusual brother Percy. And what of Dirk's anger towards Helen for seeing her kiss multimillionaire cad Roger Hunter in exchange for an earlier compromising photograph of Eve Chalice and another undisclosed gentleman? A photograph destroyed by Dirk in a jealous rage at Helen's notorious behavior as he saw it. Listeners, you are about to find out.
Dirk Landless.
Helen, come in. It's good of you to fit me into your busy schedule, Helen. What with all those other mouths you need to kiss.
Oh, Dirk, don't speak like that. I can't bear it. And don't look at me like that.
Like what?
That look you give of murderous jealousy whenever the name of Roger Hunter is mentioned.
I haven't mentioned Roger's name, Helen. You have, just now. Can't get him out of your head, can you? Not after he kissed you. Not after he kissed you in front of me.
Oh, Dirk, stop it. You know I only kissed Roger Hunter to obtain a compromising photograph of Eve Chalice with an as-yet undisclosed gentleman. A photograph you destroyed.
Yes, I did, Helen. Yes, I destroyed it. Destroyed another of Hunter's schemes to seduce you. And yes...
You mean...
Yes,
You mean you'll...
Yes, I mean I'll destroy any subsequent trade-offs Roger Hunter attempts with you. All that man wants is your body, Helen.
Dirk!
Well, it's true, isn't it? That's all he thinks of. That and how to spend the vast fortune he's made in the Scandinavian shipping arena.
Oh, Dirk, don't talk like this.
Like what?
Like this. Like you don't love me anymore. Like all that consumes you is your hatred for Roger Hunter.
I tell you, Helen, I do love you. I love you. I'd do anything to be married to you, but don't you see, darling? A whole army of villains is lined up against us. Us. An army of two. My darling Helen.
Oh, Dirk.
Roger Hunter, Eve Chalice, her brother Percy, my wife in name only, Marjorie. And then me. My own damned, all-consuming jealousy and demonic rage. All of them. And that. Lined up against us. And armed to the teeth.
Dirk, don't do this. Don't torture yourself. We have a chance, my darling. One final chance to beat the Roger Hunters, the Eve Chalices, the Percys, the wife-in-name only Marjories, and the all-consuming jealousies and demonic rages of this world.
Do we, Helen? Do we?
Yes, Dirk, we do. Last evening, I drove over to Eve Chalice's house.
Helen, I strictly forbade you to do that. That woman is evil.
Yes, Dirk, she is. And I found the evidence to prove it.
What do you mean?
In her drawing room, whilst she was receiving a telephone call, I found this.
What is this, Helen?
It's a photograph. A photograph of Eve Chalice with an as-yet undisclosed gentleman.
By Jove, so it is. And a compromising one at that.
I brought it straight to you, Dirk. I love you, Dirk. I love you. And this is our chance, our only chance of freeing ourselves from the spectre of Eve Chalice. This photograph could mean that you won't have to marry Eve in order to divorce your wife-in-name only Marjorie. Your divorce will still come through and we can be together at last.
Oh, Helen, you could be right. You might very well be...
Doug, what is it they're doing in the photograph? I don't understand.
Don't worry yourself about that, my darling. It's the sort of lewd, disgraceful behavior I've come to expect of Eve Chalice. By heaven, she really is notorious, isn't she? Just look at her with that man. She really is the most irresponsible woman yet created.
Doug, with this photograph we can break free of Eve Chalice. With this photograph tonight, we'll be able to meet that army of villains you spoke of earlier. But this time we'll be armed. Armed to the teeth. No one will expect you to marry Eve once they've seen this.
You're right, my darling. Perhaps we are free of her. Once and for all.
What's that noise?
The doorbell, darling. Excuse me while I see who it is.
Of course.